rock, there's no reason to stop. I got my own guitar, I know the chords. I play my cigar, lay it flat on the floor. The East and the West, their battles won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, bones reflecting my eyes, and when they eat my flesh, but I got the power to run all the hours to rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bones, I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I hold it together till I turn to stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone and turn back to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone and turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. It is I, Dr. Thaddeus Rusty Venture, and this is an intro to True Blue Riffcast with Jeremy and Dave. Riffing about riff tracks and bad movies, such as The Godfather, Citizen Kane, and The Devil Wears Prada. Rusty. Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but those are all good movies. In fact, great movies. Well, James, did you ever hear of a little expression called eye of the beholder? Well, yes, but there's such a thing as truth, and you're not being very truthful. I disagree. What is truth? What is true blue? What is a riffcast? These are questions. They are questions. Look, why don't we just try a second take? All right. Hello, it is I, Dr. Thaddeus Rusty Venture, and this is an intro to True Blue Riffcast, riffing about bad movies, such as Back to the Future, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and Cannonball Run. No, I can't accept this. I mean, I'm not going to say Cannonball Run is great, but it's certainly good of its genre. And what genre is that? Film Twitter? What? Look, don't call me that, first of all. A rollicking, frolicking 70s road comedy, I guess? Fair enough, James. Fair enough. All right, well, I think that's enough intros. Perhaps we should do an outro now. What do you say? Indeed. Thank you for coming to True Blue Riffcast. Sit back, relax, enjoy the cast. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Venture and James Urbaniak. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the #1 Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
Sup, everyone? It's me, Dave. Hey, what can the matter be? Hey.
Oh, God. So, yeah. Today we're going to be talking quite a bit about Winterbeast, the newest release from Riff Tracks, and oh my gosh, that movie is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if
I don't
I
really
have a
want to talk
different
about
opinion,
it yet.
But yeah.
Yeah. Because we have a lot to say about that one, especially one scene in particular, two scenes in particular. But yeah, if you looked at the title, if you've seen the riff, and you see the title of today's podcast, "What's in the Box," you'll probably know what we're talking about. What's in the box? It's not so much a "What's in the box." It's more of a "What's in the box."
What's in the box? A shark or something?
Or something. Oh man. So how you doing, Dave?
Oh man, I was just while the intro was playing, I was on mute, obviously, and I got into a big fight with my kitty, and now he's outside. Like he wanted to be a little buddy boy, and he wanted to like be all like, no, I can't do this. There's a podcast starting, so I had to kick him out. I'm like, get out of here. Little kitty.
My
He's a good
puppy
little
finally
kitty,
fell
though.
asleep on the couch out there.
Oh, it's not attacking your other dog? No
No,
more?
no, she settled down. Bitey Betty is settled down. Finally. I forgot how much puppies are like having toddlers again.
I think it's probably a lot like having kittens. Like my cat was born in, I think because he was like technically rescue, but he was a little tiny boy when we got him.
Wasn't he a trash cat?
Yeah, I think he was a trash kitty. What happened was my niece found him, and the people that my niece is staying with is like, well, he can't stay here, so he lives with me now, and he's my cat. Apparently she found him in a dumpster. So he likes to eat garbage. He's like the only cat I've ever known in my life that likes to eat human food.
I was gonna say garbage, so you feed him like McDonald's and Arby's and stuff like that.
Yeah, he loves that stuff.
That's fun. Yeah, that much has been going on my end. Just a lot of work. It's like 43 degrees here today.
Wow,
and then tomorrow
it must be nice.
I mean, kind of. Tomorrow it's gonna drop like 30 degrees, and we're supposed to get like this really huge snowstorm over the next few days, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I used to not mind the snow so much, but now that
I got old. Yeah.
Well, I'm older, and now I have a job that I have to work outside every Friday for like 4 hours, and
no thanks.
Yeah, so the snow and the cold really make that even more fun. They don't.
Well, what can you do?
What can you do? You can freeze. That's what you can do. Seriously, like by the time we're done, like everybody is just ready to sit down. We have a heater, and we just sit directly in front of the heater, like we huddle around it, and we have it set to like 86 degrees, and it still barely feels like it's doing anything. Good times every Friday at work.
Yep.
Speaking of good
can't imagine
times,
why there's a labor shortage in the country.
well, I mean, there's a lot of. Never mind. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. We don't need to bring that kind of crap into the True Blue Riffcast. This is for movies and Star Wars
and riff tracks.
Yes, mostly riff tracks.
What the show
usually.
is named after.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we get into our riff tracks discussion today, let's take a look at the weekend box office. Everything is exactly the same as it was last week.
That doesn't
Spider-Man,
surprise me.
Scream, Sing 2, Redeeming Love, and The Kingsman, all in the same positions as last week. Man, I can't believe Spider-Man's been out for 7 weeks already. Like,
yeah, and it's just like, and here's what I want to know. In chat, if there's anybody in chat, I don't know if there is because we do this on irregular days, but
Josh is here.
Okay, cool. Hi, Josh. How are you? Was anybody really surprised that that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were in the movie? I mean,
no.
That's
I mean,
what I really want to know. I mean,
once they revealed all the villains that were going to be in it, it's like, okay, there's no way they don't bring the people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because who cares about those guys without the other guys? So I just want to know if like anybody was in the theater and just like gasped, like, "Oh my gosh, it's Andrew Garfield!" It's like, well, you knew he was coming. I mean,
I don't know if there was
like,
gasps. There were cheers, but Josh
So,
says
like-
Daredevil was the big surprise for him.
oh really? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I thought that I read somewhere that they decanonized those, like they decanonized like Agents of Shield and Daredevil and like all the Netflix shows.
Yeah,
But
basically
they're bringing them back. They're bringing
any
them
of the
back
TV
in,
shows that were before the Disney Plus stuff
Yeah.
was supposed to end up being non-MCU. So, but apparently they changed their mind on a few things.
Well, not to change the subject or anything, but somebody just pulled up in front of my house and they're parked in front of my house, and I don't like it. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just gonna
always
say-
that's always a little weird when that happens.
Yeah, it's like, hey, guy,
Please don't come up to my house.
yeah, what are you doing? You can go ahead and leave anytime.
I mean, if
So-
it was a guy on a bike, then at least we would know what was going on. But
It was a guy on a bike
yeah,
with like a tie.
yeah, a tie.
Oh, okay,
yeah, nice-
yeah.
yeah,
Missionary, is that a Mormon joke? Thanks.
yeah, a
appreciate
little
it.
bit. I mean, it's Utah, Dave. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else you expect me to say there.
Yeah, I feel like, how many wives do you got? Brr. When I was in the Army, I got that all the time. It's like people find out from Utah that I was Mormon, and they'd just be like, "Well, how many? What? Like they looked at me like I was from another planet." And they're just like, well, so I hear you guys have I didn't know, I knew that polygamy was part of our past, obviously,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that was like what 100% of the outside world thought of us. I thought it was like, I was like, that's just some weird part of like our past that like didn't really apply anymore.
Oh no, you hear Mormon and you go, oh yeah,
Oh.
polygamy.
Be like, so you time travel from the year 1895? Where's your weird pioneer outfit or something? Like, people got some weird ideas about Mormons.
I mean,
found
you're
out.
not-
It's like,
You're not Mennonites. I mean,
no, but that's what people think.
that's a little bit different there, guys.
I mean, like, granted, I'm not your typical Mormon dude. I didn't go on a bike riding thing. I joined the Army, but man, found out people got some weird ideas about people from Utah. weird ideas.
Yep.
And okay, it looks like they're leaving. Okay, cool, good.
Okay, good.
So the podcast can continue. I will allow it.
All right, well, we'll move on and we'll start talking about the newest release from Riff Tracks, Winterbeast.
Yeah, so I watched this on Saturday, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, what is happening? And I didn't want to watch it again. So what is today? Tuesday? So it's been like 3 days. So the amount that I probably don't recall about it is legion, but I think I can keep up.
Well, that's the
Because-
thing.
Yeah.
This movie, they don't really give you a lot of information.
No, they really don't. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, look, it opens up and there's like some weird body horror stuff happening.
Yeah, this I was able to pick up on this first like scene in
Yeah.
quotes is the ranger guy's dream.
That was a dream.
Yes, it was supposed to be a dream because he
Well,
does
how-
mention it
Well, then
later
why
in the
didn't
movie.
I pick up on it?
Because the way
is
this
the
entire
problem.
movie is. The whole movie is like this. You can't pick up on anything. So
It's like your brain
Winterbeast,
tries to grasp onto stuff, and there's nothing to like. It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't
no.
like it doesn't even tell you. I think we know one guy with a name that we know, and it's Dick Sargent,
Dick Sargent.
and we only know that because of Bewitched.
Yes.
He was Darren number duh.
I don't remember honestly if other people were actually named in the movie, like if anybody said anybody's name. Maybe the guy who owned the Wild Goose Lodge or whatever it was.
Goose Lodge. They wanted you. Now here's the thing: they wanted you to know what the name of that lodge was.
Yeah, it's definitely
so much
Wild
so
Goose Lodge.
that they put it in big letters everywhere they possibly could.
Yeah. And the owner, Charlie, I think his name we get a few times. But other than that, here's the named characters from this movie, according to IMDb. Okay, we've got Sergeant Bill Whitman, who is the main mustache
I don't remember
guy.
that name at all.
Ranger Stillman,
Like, at all. Okay.
Charlie Perkins, who I believe was the guy who owned. I might even
That does
be way
sound
off
familiar.
on that.
Charlie Perkins does sound familiar.
Dave Sheldon. I think he was the jean jacket guy. There's Ranger Bradford, who was the female ranger. There's Barbara, which it seems like it's spelled wrong. Barbera.
Barbarella.
Barbara, yes. We have Dick Sargent, and then the only other named person, well, there's the Winterbeast. Somebody's credited as being the Winterbeast.
Wait, there was a monster in this?
And then Slappy Tello was the other named character. Everybody else is listed as additional cast. So,
wow.
Neither of the old ladies in the diner scene have any names or anything. But yeah, this movie is about people being killed off near Wild Goose Lodge. Something about the mountain being haunted, and it's like a deadly Native American curse or something. Ew, what? Hang on. I don't know which one that was. Somebody just redeemed something in my chat, and I don't remember what it was for.
Well, it was clearly Josh Flowers.
No, it was Atomic Hero Squad.
Okay.
Oh, Spooky Sounds. Spooky Sounds, that's what it is.
What
Spooky
the heck?
Sounds is actually fitting for this.
What kind of weird stuff are you giving away on your channel?
I got a ghost.
You got a ghost?
That's kind of fitting for this. We got some thunder and lightning.
You got a ghost? Oh, okay.
And then there's some bones. A rattly skeleton.
What do you have, like a
Oh, that's
CD
activate the
of-
blaster? Man, my things are all messed up because I've got... We're being just interrupted all over the place. Okay, this one, excuse me, is the fart blaster. There we go. There you go. There's fart blaster. That's how I feel about this movie, by the way.
So,
It was a turd. A really
are you
bad...
done with your
Yes.
sound effects
Yes,
CD
yes,
from
the sound effects.
1993?
The year after this movie came out, yes. No,
Okay.
this movie is one of the most disjointed works that I've ever seen. They filmed it from 1986 to about 1990-ish. It was finally released in 1992. They filmed it on multiple different film stock. There's at least 16 millimeter and Super 8 in here, and you can so tell the difference when they change scenes. People have different hairstyles in between camera angles, different amounts of facial hair. Obviously, the most notable for that was the main ranger guy, who goes from having a full mustache to like peach fuzz in the same scene, where he's talking to the weird guy who owns the lodge, who goes from having short hair to kind of I don't know, kind of tall man style hair from Phantasm. That guy, like his hair kind of looks like that in a couple scenes. And all the creatures are like claymation, except for one.
Claymation.
No, except for
Really
two.
bad.
Because there's the claymation monsters. One that's like Groot from Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy. There's like a giant mutated chicken. There's this weird furry thing that kind of had a beak and a couple really large eyes that dragged these women off.
See, that's the thing. I completely forgot there was claymation in this movie already. I was like,
somebody,
oh, right, there was claymation in this movie, wasn't there?
somebody gets a skull puppet through the stomach, and it kind of, I don't know if it was supposed to be like his spine, because it kind of crawled away out of him. Like after he
was like up against a wall or a tree. I was really curious about how they did that.
And they showed that twice.
Yeah.
Because the first time was in the dream that the guy was having at the beginning of the movie. We had a zombie. There was a random zombie of some old dead reverend guy. And he like killed the ranger, and when we get to later in the film, her body is kind of being mutilated a little bit and smacked around by the crazy guy. But it's this just that's the movie. Like they kill people, and it's just weird. Like none of it makes any sense. None of it's explained. Well, it is a little bit explained, but
there's a box with a gigantic flesh-colored dildo in it that they don't address at all.
20 minutes into the movie, I only know this because I had to go back to it because I had to show my wife and one of my coworkers yesterday.
It's like, what does this look like?
And it's not what does it look like. It was absolutely this big old knob in a box, and like I don't understand the point of it. Like because it's the jean jacket dude who's into all this Native American stuff, and we know that he's into it because he has Native American face masks. Like they look like old Halloween costume, like those plastic ones with the little elastic string.
Yeah, don't they work at a don't they work at a gift shop?
Yeah, I think he owns. I think
all this. Yeah, it's never clear whether he owns this Indian themed place.
I think he does because there's that one scene later in the movie where he's all excited that their new ashtrays are coming in to sell at the gift shop. But like he's got all this Native American stuff around his table, and he's like, "Oh yes, my friend, like Burning Wolf or whatever." He's like, he gave me this years ago. And he opens up the box, and there's a few things in the box, but all you see is the giant dick.
Yeah.
And like the guy's reaction is so good because they're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Which was my reaction to it too. And they start making some really bad jokes about how the guy must have been a head hunter, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? And he had plenty of hard evidence. But then he pulls out like this little tooth, and he's like, he gave me this tooth. And they're like, yeah, we're focused on the tooth. Nobody's focusing on the tooth. And they're like, he said I might need this someday. And Kevin just straight up, he's like, what, the tooth or the dildo? And then when the scene finally ends, and it's on the two women that are about to be killed, Bill is singing the classic Dick in a Box song. It's just the weirdest thing. And honestly, it's not even the weirdest thing in this movie. Because then when we get the reveal that was like not a surprise at all that
that the weirdo
the guy who owns
the whatever he is,
who owns the lodge is like the bad guy who's been trying to summon this demon. He's in there in his little lodge, and it's all closed up, and he puts a record on, a really old record.
Old-timey record. Hey, what can the matter be? Hey, what can the matter be?
Yeah. And he's like doing this like fanciful little dance around and like petting the heads of all of these dead people that he has in there that are now just skeletons. And then he gets over to the park ranger lady, and he starts fingering her neck wound.
Oh yeah.
And like stretching the skin out. And then he just smacks her across the face. And the ranger comes in, and jean jacket dude comes in, and they find like this big spear upstairs, and he's like, "Oh, you got to see this!" And he goes down, and they're going through all these things that this guy has, and he shows up, and he's got this really extra creepy clown mask on, and he's like, "Yes, I'm the one. My great 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 grandfather started this, and I'm gonna finish summoning this demon." And then all of a sudden, his head catches on fire and like melts, and he's dead. And then, like, this is where the Winterbeast comes in. He's the guy, the devil-looking guy. Even though this movie takes place in fall,
Yeah.
we have the Winterbeast. Like, it makes no sense with...
In the winter of October, yeah.
Yes.
Not even close to winter.
But I don't even remember how... Oh, yeah, that's how they kill him. They fight him in the woods. I was trying to remember how they killed the Winterbeast.
Oh, right. Yeah, they just...
And they have this little skull head. And the park ranger has a flare gun at this point.
Right.
They go to this like closed
weapons, yeah.
This closed down I don't know, like cottage rental place, and they're attacked by what looks to be like a dinosaur type creature. Like, it's ginormous, and it's this really bad claymation thing, you know, chasing them around, and they're like breaking through walls and fences instead of going over the little foot-high fence. They like break through it to get away from this thing. It's really just dumb and ridiculous. And they end up face to face with the Winterbeast. And Jean Jacket has like this skull totem thing that he's carrying around, and park rangers trying to kill the Winterbeast with a flare gun.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, so the guy's like, "You gotta shoot this." Well, presumably, because his mouth moves, but you don't hear anything.
Oh,
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get into the dub here in a minute, yeah.
And so the guy aims the flare gun up into the sky, shoots the flare, and it goes up, and it arcs down right on the skull thing, and it hits it, and it explodes, and the eyes on the Winterbeast glow red, and then they melt, and he's dead. And the two guys like start like laughing and like clapping each other's backs, and that's the end. I mean, it goes. They go back to the lodge. Apparently, they're running the lodge now. I don't really know. They don't make it clear, but it's definitely the set from the lodge.
Yeah, you mean the Wild Goose Lodge?
Yeah, that Wild Goose Lodge.
Up there in Wisconsin.
But so we mentioned the dubbing in this movie, and
yeah,
I know we've talked about bad
strange.
Dubbing before.
Yeah.
And it's almost reminiscent of the Ghost House effect.
Yeah, but not quite, because it's not made by Italians.
And it's worse.
Yeah. It's very strange. It's Ghost House effect adjacent.
Their ADR was horrible. Let's put it that way.
But that's a better way to because it's clearly not the same people, or it might be, but it's clearly not the sound that was captured on set.
No. At least for most of it.
Yeah.
Some of it was. Because you can tell, but most of it...
it's the lip sync. It's like, I think they tried, but like they didn't try very hard. I think they're just like, I think you like multiple times. You're like, well, that's probably good enough. It's like, oh, we did it. We're not going to do it again. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
People going to say another sentence again?
Yeah, I'm not made of money.
Yeah,
Meatloaf. No, sorry.
Meatloaf.
What are we, millionaires?
Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Wild Goose. But yeah, it's like, it's almost like watching like the old dubs of like old Godzilla movies or something. Like that's the level of badness for the dubbing of these characters, that Again, I honestly don't remember if they were even named in the movie. Obviously, they had names in the script or whatever, but some of this movie, it kind of gave me. Okay, this movie came out in 1992. The soundtrack of this movie is like the soundtrack of every low budget horror movie that came out around this time. It's got that same feel to it where there's a lot of like synthesizer going in it.
A lot of Van Halen kind of synth stuff.
Yeah. And I really had high hopes for this movie. Like I looked up stills from it, after they announced it, and I'm like, oh, these creatures look very interesting. And, like I'm on IMDb under the photos, one of them is the weird, like, hairy skull thing with the spine that pops out the dude's stomach. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be terrible and great. And it was just terrible.
Yeah.
Like one of the aliens, or one of the creatures looks like an alien.
The aliens, what is this, feeders?
Yeah. And, oh man, but like when they grab people to kill them and they pull in, and it's a little clay person, and they like this one that looks like an alien rips the guy's head off, and it's like Mr. Bill being murdered on screen.
Yeah.
Like it's so awful. And one of the guys who designed two of the creatures went on to work on The Corpse Bride. He was one of the co-directors of The Corpse Bride. Like, so he's done, popular things that people like as far as stop motion. And I guess, hey, you got to start somewhere. And
yeah, I was literally about to say that. Everyone's got to start someplace. Yeah.
But this movie, the movie itself was a disappointment.
Yeah, like, I gotta say, like, it didn't like rise to like the level of like because have we talked about how they shot it over a period of 6 years? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of like saw that in the Riff Tracks description. I don't read the descriptions. I buy it anyway. I don't care. But it's I did see that a little bit. They said that it was filmed over a period of different years. So I thought like, oh, this is going to be like a Dangerous Men type of situation. And it really wasn't.
No,
like
it wasn't.
It's I don't want to say they hyped it up to, but it didn't reach another movie that I kind of thought that it might be like going into it was Psychotronic Man. It didn't live up to that either. So it's really just kind of like this piddly middle grade kind of bad movie, like it doesn't. It's not the worst, but it's certainly not like the best. It's not like Psychotronic Man. Like,
I was
have a very high
expecting
opinion of Psychotronic Man.
something even closer to like Suburban Sasquatch.
Oh, well, that's a very high standard, my friend.
I know. And this movie, it makes Suburban Sasquatch look competent.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, this was somebody's dream. This was somebody's, like, somebody dedicated a lot of love and passion and effort into this for 6 years. I didn't even do Storybook for that long. I did Storybook for 5, and I'm like, I am done with this.
Yeah. Yours was a little bit better than how this turned out.
Yeah.
This is like if Neil Breen made a movie with the Polonia brothers.
Yeah. Feeders. Ho ho ho. Oh no, wait, that's not how Santa Claus sounds. Santa Claus sounds way different. Doesn't sound like Santa Claus in Feeders 2. Feeders 2 Santa is. Have we talked about Feeders 2? Yeah, I'm sure we have.
We definitely did.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll be talking about Feeders 3 at some point this year. I know the movie's coming out, and I really hope Riff Tracks does it because I loved the riffs of the first two. But that's
Are we gonna be
my
talking about
official.
Birdemic 3? I think we have to.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk about it. I still haven't seen Birdemic 2. Like, I've got no desire to watch that, but I'm kind of interested in Birdemic 3, which is weird.
Save yourself the heartache. When all that stuff went down with me and James Wen 6 years ago, I became friends with like a lot of people who hated him as much as I do. And one of them was the producers from Birdemic 2. Now, one of the criticisms of Birdemic 2 is that it tried to be bad on purpose and that James Wen lost all creative control of it. I was talking to the producer, the guy who put the money up for it, and he said, like, no, that whole thing, everything was James's vision. That whole movie was James's vision. In fact, this notion that Birdemic 2 is bad on purpose, he told me that there were a couple of scenes that they left out because they thought that it would look like they were trying to make it bad on purpose. It's like, we can't put that in. That's too bad.
Wow.
So, but he said that, like, no, that the idea that James Wen, that movie wasn't James Wen's fault. No, it's 100% James Wen's vision.
Wow.
Birdemic 2.
Yeah,
Birdemic
wow, that's interesting news. But yeah, that's my official review on Winterbeast. It's like Neil Breen and the Polonia brothers teamed up to make something, and that's not high praise at all.
No, yeah, I'm probably not going to be watching this one again.
I might just to see if I can catch anything. Like, if I don't know, I don't think it's on anything to watch like for free. It's on Shudder, and I'm not a subscriber to Shudder right now. Otherwise, I might watch it. Just, I don't know. Like, I don't want to watch it, but I kind of need to see if I can figure out what the hell was going on. If I do watch it, it'll have to be with the riff, because
yeah,
I there's no way. And this is kind of my answer to our normal question. There's no way I could watch this unriffed, like, at all. No way.
Like, yeah, no, like any sane person would like try to watch it, then after 5 minutes be like, no, I've had enough of this.
I need to
yes.
Hang on, I'm typing.
Full
I
stop.
need to find...
Hi everybody, it's me, Dave. I'm taking over the podcast. So the Batman looks terrible.
Yes, it does.
And if you like the trailer, I don't know what to do for you, man. Zodiac Riddler. No. Wrong answer.
I'm not a huge fan of the Batmobile design in this. It's just a muscle car. And that's it. Like, it's lifted a little bit.
Literally in the episode 0 for the True Blue Riffcast, we talked about Robert Pattinson being Batman, and I defended the choice. I was like,
I don't think it's the actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the problem with the movie.
No, it's just the problem with the movie is that it looks like it has a horrible script and terrible design that's going to make you feel like crap. You know, it's like, I watched Batman v Superman. I left that place feeling like $1 million. I loved it. And then, like, everyone's like, dude, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I'm like... So, like, I've such a universally negative opinion on a movie that I genuinely enjoyed. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I still don't get the hate. I think we've talked about it before.
The hate for...
And, like, people have explained the hate to me, and, like, I never retain it. I never retain what everyone's problem with it is. Like, I know it's been explained to me. Like, people will come and, like a thesis level, like, explanation of why Batman v Superman movie is bad. Okay? And it's just, like, after, like, 5 minutes of listening to it, like, my mind just, like, goes someplace else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I don't know. It was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I liked it better than Justice League.
I still haven't seen that. I should probably watch the Snyder Cut eventually.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours long, so prepare for that.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourselves. All right. I gotta get this stuck in everybody's head. Hang on a second.
Okay. Am I gonna be able to hear it?
I don't know. It's just, oh dear, what can the matter be?
Oh no. Well,
Johnny's so
I think
long at the fair.
The alternative lyrics are my own robot, my own white lady. So I guess you and I will work it out.
Yes.
We'll pick it out. I don't know.
I just got it. New intro theme. No, I'm not gonna make this the new intro theme, Josh.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
what can the matter be?
I just got it
Okay,
really,
like-
really quiet for the background. It's not as crackly as the one they used in the movie with the
Does it have an artist? Can I get this on iTunes?
Caroline F. Gianmarco.
Oh.
Johnny's
Italian.
so long at the fair. Oh, the original was, I mean, it's Oh Dear, What Can the Matter Be, also known as Johnny's So Long at the Fair.
So my guess is going to be at least 1960s. That's probably too late. So maybe.
I mean, the
20s?
original version of the song was from, let's see, it's a traditional nursery rhyme traced back to the 1770s.
Isn't that where all nursery rhymes come from?
Probably. But yeah,
Where's
that's
Pop
what
Goes-
that's what they're
Pop
playing
Goes
in
the
the.
Weasel come from, yeah.
And the guy's like dancing around like this and like doing the finger pointing, you know, like, and he's just like dancing and he's patting the heads of the skulls, and it's just really weird. It's not disturbing. Somebody,
It's just stupid.
I
It's
saw
dumb.
somebody else say something similar to this, but Josh brought this up earlier. He said it was like a claymation hobbyist wanted to make his own Twin Peaks.
Well, I mean, that.
I don't
definitely-
disagree with that.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's accurate. I don't really have anything else to say about Winterbeast.
I really don't either, other than like I'm probably not going to be revisiting it.
I had high hopes. Like, I really expected this one to be one
Yeah, it
of those,
was
like,
kind of
this
a
is going to be
letdown.
an instant
Yeah.
classic. And it's funny. It's really funny. I mean, obviously, there's the
But there's
whole dick in the
nothing
box
really
scene,
to-
which just,
But yeah,
that
but
scene.
there's nothing really to recommend it, like Ghost House or
Yeah.
like not everything can be Ghost House, Jeremy. Okay,
Why
like,
not, Dave? Why not?
not everything can be Ghost House. I know you love Ghost House. If you love Ghost House so much, why don't you just marry it? I'm saying
Speaking-
this. I'm the one that brought up Ghost House.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghost House, last week, Dave and I said we were going to work on our Riff Track starter lists.
Yeah, we
This
both totally
week-
forgot about it.
This week, well, I do have a starter list. This week you get mine. Next episode you get Dave's.
Oh, okay. I suppose we
But
can do that.
this is what I feel are the good riffs. Like, if you want to introduce somebody to riff tracks, either do it with like a live show if you can, like show them one of the, like, Plan 9 from Outer Space, House on Haunted Hill, any of those, especially the early ones. But if not, here's some regular VODs and some shorts that you can use to try and get your friends hooked on riff tracks. At least in my opinion, these are the good ones to do that. Ghost House is one of them, obviously. We both think ridiculously highly of Ghost House.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
Guy from Harlem is another one. Like, that's the one that everybody seems to love. So, and then A Talking Cat. Those would be my top 3 VOD choices. And as for shorts, you really can't go wrong with the multitude of At Your Fingertips shorts, or the Norman saga. The saga of Norman Krasner and his 2 wives.
Well, I think if you're gonna start, like, I think the Riff Tracks it started off like its original identity, its brand identity was MST3K with the big movies, which I
Yeah.
kind of miss. So like I think that if you want to go back, I would say
Ooh, are we getting your
Twilight.
list today?
Maybe, because I can just rattle it off.
Yeah.
I would say Twilight, Harry Potter, maybe Transformers, but definitely Twilight and Harry Potter because there's a lot there. I would say Star Wars Holiday Special, definitely.
I had that one written down, and then I decided, nah. Maybe if you're like getting them into it like closer to the time that would be.
Yeah,
you don't want to
like 14 years ago. Yeah, but
yeah.
I would say to continue along the lines of MP3s, I would say show them obviously The Room and Birdemic. I would also say Guy from Harlem, but I would also throw in some deep cuts. I mean, they're not deep cuts for us, but they're deep cuts now because they're over a decade old. I would say House on Haunted Hill. I mean, that's not really a deep cut, but Crater Lake Monster is one that is a really good starter one. Buffalo Rider is really, really good.
Yep.
If you want to go with stuff more recent, like, from 5 years ago, Star Games, if you really want to, just like start them off with a sugary high extra volt kind of thing. I think that's really
high insanity.
Yeah, I think okay. I kind of take Star Games back because with Star Games, you got to work up to that.
I think so. That was my reasoning for not putting it on the on my list. I'm like Star Games, and then I'm like, ooh, no, that might be a little much to start with.
That might be too much for people. But if you're going to start with MP3s, I would say Twilight, Harry Potter, maybe Transformers. You don't really need it, but definitely Twilight and Harry Potter. My first Riff Tracks ever was The Dark Knight. I don't know if that's really a good starting point for the present, but it was a good starting point for me back in December of 2008.
Yeah.
Guy from Harlem, Manos. I think you really have to. I wouldn't recommend starting with live shows because live shows are very electric. They're very exciting.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you should like work up to that and like get that excitement of having like that first live show, because I was around when they first did their first live show in 2009. Like, Riff Tracks Live, like, wow, how are they going to do that? And it was Plan 9. So if you want to do like public domain VODs like they did in the the early days, probably I would say Voodoo Man. I would say Little Shop of Horrors. I would say Planet of Dinosaurs. I would say maybe not Reefer Madness. I think that one might be a little overrated. But yeah, those. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, definitely.
Yeah, which is good because you can start them off.
There.
You can start them off without the live one, and then once they get settled in, then you can go, oh look, here's this one, but it's a different movie.
It has a different version. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has Jack and the Beanstalk instead of Thumbelina.
Yes.
Which was always weird to me. It's just like Thumbelina for me is like such. Have we talked about Sammy and the Ice Cream Bunny on the podcast? I have such a horrible memory of like what we talked about, what we haven't.
Let me check the master list here real quick.
Because Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, like for me, Thumbelina is such an integral part of like that experience. And they found something else. They found a different version of it for the live show. And it's just like, wow. And it's
we have not talked about either version
talk
of
about
that.
that in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that around Christmas time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my half-baked starter list.
And there's some ones that you definitely should not start off.
Oh yeah.
Like don't show them This Is Hormel for the first short.
No, yeah, don't do that.
anything that has anything like that in it.
Anything with highly muscled butts in it, I wouldn't recommend. Anything with like a dystopian future in New York with gangs on motorcycles and barrels and trash cans on fire.
Yeah, don't show them Rats. Don't show them 1990. Don't show them what Karate Cop and Omega Cop.
Yeah,
don't show them what was the other
anything
one?
that's kind of like grisly and like unpleasant to look at. I would
don't start them off with those.
Yeah, don't start. I mean, like, yeah, get to it eventually, but don't start them off with that because you're gonna give them the wrong idea.
Yeah, and don't start them off with Roller Gator.
Yeah, you got
as much as we love Roller Gator, don't start them off with that one.
We are both on the record as being pro Roller Gator.
Very pro Roller Gator, but maybe not. As a very early exposure to riff tracks.
And if you're trying to get stubborn Misties to give riff tracks a chance, I can't believe that there are so many Misties who don't give two Fs about riff tracks.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
The whole reason I wanted to see it was because it was Mike, Kevin, and Bill. Like, these are my Mystery Science Theater people.
Yeah, it's like, but like, it's amazing to me just how stubborn a lot of Misties can be. And they'll watch the new one for some reason, which is bad and horrible, but they won't watch riff tracks. But I would say, hey, look, let's do Manos the Hands of Fate, and then just watch them freak out saying how they can't do that. And yeah,
Manos or Space Mutiny or Time Chasers. Show them any of those. Father Frost.
Like, there aren't, I mean, they've redone a few, and I think I would really say there's only one of them that the MSG through K episode is better. And you don't get to hear which.
I have an idea because I have one of those also. You know what? I'm gonna say it because I don't really care. Mine is Final Justice. I think I like the.
Oh, see, I completely forgot about that. I forgot totally that they did it. That was like what, 2016?
Somewhere around there. That was the same year we got all the other Great and Clark films that they did.
Yeah.
Which those are some more that you should not start people off with.
Yeah. I would not start them off. Like, I think getting Manos to stubborn Misties will either make them very mad or will make them very delighted.
Yeah, I would agree with that because they'll either immediately like love it or they'll reject it completely. One of the two.
Yeah. So.
And on that note,
full stop. Yeah.
Rejecting riff tracks. We're gonna wrap things up today.
Nice.
So, and I'm still like. My brain is.
Do we want to do any homework for next time?
I don't know. I don't know if we're getting anything new. Oh, yes. We are going to do a deep cut. I know Dave and I kind of mentioned this before, and I kind of wanted to do an old one that you never hear anybody talk about, but I seem to remember enjoying it quite a bit when it came out. And that is Bloody Pit of Horror from 2012. That's one of the things we will talk about for sure.
With the Crimson Executioner and all these idiots running around a castle in Italy for some reason.
And depending on if there's a new release on Friday, we'll be talking about that. And if not, then I'll
Bao as a backup.
Maybe. I will put it up on the Patreon and on Twitter, what we're going to be talking about along with Bloody Pit of Horror, probably Saturday or Friday, depending on, if there's a release or not. But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Speaking of our Patreon, if you do like the podcast and would like to support us, you can head over to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast and you can drop us a couple dollars there. Or you can subscribe right here on Twitch, or you can send bits or any of that fun stuff. And if you want, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at TBRiffcast. And I'm also on Twitter at PBandAwesome.
And that's me, Dave Chadwick. You can check me out at davechadwick.info. You can check me out on Twitter at DChadwickAuthor. And buy all my books on Amazon. Just search Dave Chadwick. There's Monkey, Tumbleweed Dossier, Son of Santa, and Happy Valley. And they're all right there. That's
yeah,
my pitch.
definitely check out Monkey if you haven't yet, guys. It's well worth it. I highly enjoyed reading that one. I still have to get around to checking out your other books. I haven't done that yet, but
Oh, that's fine. They're very old.
I still want to read them. Dang it!
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
And we are going
no,
to,
you can't.
as always, head on over to Riff Tracks. We'll send them a little bit of a raid. So we'll see you guys next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die, etc.
Rock till you die.